Welcome, jewels of inestimable value. It is far better to walk alone than to walk with the crowd going in the wrong direction. The Sigma female lives by this unspoken creed. In a world obsessed with fitting in, she's the one who dares to stand apart, unbothered by the noise or the judgment that follows her every step. Did you know that according to psychology, individuals who are comfortable with solitude often possess higher levels of emotional intelligence? It's not loneliness that they fear, it's the idea of losing themselves in the process of trying to belong. This is why Sigma females walk alone. It's not out of bitterness or arrogance, but because their journey is too sacred, too unique to be shared with just anyone. What the world calls isolation, they call freedom. Walking alone is not a punishment, it's a deliberate, powerful choice. Keep watching, and you'll discover why solitude isn't just their reality, it's their superpower. Number 1. They refuse to be pack-minded. Sigma females don't care about following the crowd. They refuse to be led by the masses because they know that blending in comes with a cost, losing themselves. Groupthink, where everyone's thoughts and decisions melt into one, is suffocating for them. It's not that they think they're better than others. They just understand that when you start to think like the group, you stop thinking for yourself. That's a deal breaker for them. They're wired to question, to explore, and to break away from anything that tries to limit their individuality. Walking alone gives them the space to do that. It's a choice, not a forced exile. They're not interested in keeping up with trends or fitting into some societal mold. Trends fade, and the mold, it was never built for them anyway. They thrive in their own lane, unshackled from expectations that don't serve their purpose. To a Sigma female, following the crowd feels like a slow death, a slow erasure of everything unique and authentic about her. She values her independence of thought, and to protect that, she chooses solitude over conformity. The crowd might provide comfort or a sense of belonging, but she knows that belonging to herself is more powerful. This need to stand apart doesn't mean she's disconnected from the world. In fact, it's quite the opposite. By stepping away from the pack, she gains clarity, insight, and a deeper understanding of herself. Walking alone allows her to remain true to her core, untouched by the pressures that push most people to compromise. For a Sigma female, the crowd is just background noise. Her focus is on a much higher frequency, one that leads her toward her own unique path. Number 2. They know the cost of compromising for comfort. Sigma females know that comfort can be a dangerous trap. Society encourages people to conform, to fit into neat little boxes for the sake of convenience, and to trade authenticity for approval. But for a Sigma female, that's a price she's unwilling to pay. She understands that staying true to herself, her values, and her unique perspective often means walking a harder path. Comfort to her feels like settling, and settling is the enemy of growth. She knows that when you compromise who you are to fit in, you lose parts of yourself, piece by piece. This is why Sigma females choose to walk alone. They aren't interested in making themselves smaller just to make others feel comfortable. They don't mold their personalities or choices to fit societal expectations because they understand that in doing so, they'd be giving up their power. They don't seek out easy or comfortable paths because they know those paths come with strings attached. If you choose comfort over authenticity, you end up living a life that isn't even yours. Sigma females are willing to endure discomfort, isolation, and misunderstanding if it means staying true to who they are. They'd rather face the challenges that come with walking alone than live a life that feels inauthentic or restricted. To them, walking alone isn't about rejecting others. It's about refusing to reject themselves. By choosing authenticity over comfort, they ensure that their life is fully aligned with their values and goals. They don't care about approval from the masses because the approval they need comes from within. Walking alone allows them to stay on a path that is fully their own, untouched by the compromises and expectations that others so often surrender to in the name of comfort. Number 3. They're too ahead for most people to catch up. Sigma females are constantly operating on a different frequency than most. Their minds are wired to think ahead, to see possibilities and solutions that others often overlook. They're always evolving, pushing the boundaries of their personal growth, ideas, and goals. This forward-thinking nature makes them hard to keep up with, and they know it. They're often 10 steps ahead in how they approach life, and they won't apologize for it. Most people tend to live in the present or even get stuck in the past, while Sigma females are already planning their next move, exploring new perspectives, and working toward higher aspirations. For them, waiting around for others to catch up is not an option. They don't have time to slow down or downplay their ambitions just to fit in with those who aren't moving at their pace. This advanced mindset often isolates them because few can match their drive or vision. But instead of letting this be a source of frustration, they embrace it. Walking alone allows them to move at their own speed without compromise. They are pioneers of their own paths, constantly forging ahead into uncharted territories. Their independence becomes their strength, as they refuse to shrink themselves for the sake of companionship. Sigma females recognize that being ahead of the curve often means walking alone. But it's a price they're more than willing to pay. To them, true connection isn't about forcing others to keep up. It's about finding those rare individuals who are just as forward-thinking, ambitious, and relentless in pursuing their own unique path. Until then, they're content blazing their trail solo, knowing they're exactly where they're supposed to be. Number 4. They value energy more than company. Sigma females are fiercely protective of their energy. They've learned that not everyone deserves access to it, and they don't give it away easily. It's not about being cold or distant, it's about being smart. They understand that energy is contagious, and spending time with the wrong people can leave them drained, frustrated, or even feeling less like themselves. So, they choose to walk alone rather than compromise their energy for the sake of company. It's not just about avoiding negative people, though. Mediocrity is just as draining. Sigma females have no patience for people who settle for less, who are content with coasting through life without any drive or ambition. Being around those kinds of people can feel suffocating, like their energy is being pulled down into a place they have no interest in going. To maintain their high frequency, they keep their circle small, often non-existent. They know that quality far outweighs quantity, and if the company doesn't elevate them, they see no need to include it in their lives. This approach can make Sigma females seem distant or uninterested, but it's not personal. It's about self-preservation. They'd rather invest their energy into their passions, goals, or personal growth than waste it on relationships that don't align with their values. And because they operate on such a high vibrational level, they don't fear solitude. Solitude is where they recharge, where they find clarity and creativity. Sigma females value their peace too much to compromise it. They're not afraid to cut ties or walk away from anyone or anything that threatens their energy. Walking alone for them isn't a sacrifice, it's a choice. A choice to protect their inner world from being polluted by energies that aren't aligned with their purpose. Number 5, they are not afraid to be misunderstood. Sigma females are not afraid to be misunderstood because they know that true understanding only comes from those willing to look deeper. Most people are quick to make assumptions based on surface impressions, but a Sigma female doesn't live for the opinions of others. She's not interested in putting on a mask to make her life easier to digest for everyone else. Instead, she's comfortable with the fact that she may never be fully understood, and that's perfectly fine with her. She doesn't need everyone to get her because she's fully secure in her own skin. The truth is, Sigma females value authenticity over approval. They know that being fully understood often comes at the cost of diluting who they are. If they tried to mold themselves to fit others' expectations or explain every detail of their thought process, they'd lose the very thing that makes them unique. For them, the price of being misunderstood is worth the reward of staying true to themselves. They also understand that the people who matter, the ones who truly care, won't need lengthy explanations to see them for who they are. These people won't make snap judgments or try to box them in. And if those people are rare, so be it. Sigma females prefer quality over quantity in their relationships. and they're more than willing to walk alone until they find those few individuals who resonate with them on a deeper level. Being misunderstood doesn't faze them because they see it as a sign that they're not conforming. They know they're walking a path most people can't relate to, and that's where their strength lies. They don't need to explain or apologize for who they are. If others can't keep up, they simply keep moving forward, confidently, on their own path. Number 6, they are driven by growth. Sigma females are driven by a deep need for growth. For them, stagnation is the enemy. They're constantly seeking ways to improve, challenge themselves, and push their boundaries. It's not about being perfect or chasing unrealistic standards. It's about becoming the best version of themselves, on their own terms. This relentless pursuit of growth means that they don't stick around where there's no room to evolve. If a situation, job, or even a relationship starts to feel like it's holding them back, they won't hesitate to move on. Staying in the same place, emotionally or mentally, is suffocating to them. They walk alone because they know that the journey towards self-mastery is often a solitary one. Most people are content with comfort zones, and that's something a Sigma female can't relate to. They don't need constant companionship or validation to feel fulfilled. They're fulfilled by their own progress. And progress requires stepping away from the pack, breaking free from the norms, and going after what others might see as too ambitious or too risky. What sets Sigma females apart is their ability to embrace discomfort in the name of growth. They understand that growth rarely happens in familiar, cozy spaces. It happens when you stretch yourself, when you face challenges head-on, and when you're willing to leave behind what no longer serves you. Walking alone allows them to stay focused on their goals without distractions, without feeling the need to cater to anyone else's expectations or timelines. In their solitude, they find clarity, strength, and a deeper understanding of what they're truly capable of. It's this constant pursuit of growth that drives them forward, even when the path gets lonely. And in that space, they thrive, knowing that their journey is uniquely theirs to own. Number 7, they know that not everyone deserves access. For Sigma females, the act of choosing who enters their life is both a privilege and a responsibility. They recognize that not everyone is equipped to handle their complexity or can appreciate their unique perspectives. Their experiences have taught them that the company they keep significantly impacts their mental and emotional well-being. If someone doesn't align with their values or contribute positively to their life, they see no need to make space for them. This isn't a matter of being elitist. It's about self-preservation and creating an environment that fosters growth and happiness. Sigma females have often been through enough to recognize that relationships can be a double-edged sword. While some connections enrich their lives, others can drain their energy or introduce negativity. They refuse to let toxic people or those who lack genuine intent infiltrate their space. This level of discernment is born from a deep understanding of their worth. They know that their time and energy are precious commodities that shouldn't be wasted on individuals who bring nothing to the table. Walking alone is empowering for them. It allows Sigma females to curate their surroundings intentionally, surrounding themselves with people who uplift, challenge, and inspire them. They value quality over quantity, preferring a small circle of genuine supporters to a large network of superficial acquaintances. By gatekeeping their lives, they ensure that the people they invite into their inner world are those who can add value, encourage growth, and contribute positively to their journey. In a society that often promotes inclusivity for the sake of popularity, Sigma females remain resolute in their standards. They understand that walking alongside the wrong people can hinder their progress and lead to emotional chaos. By consciously choosing who to let in, they protect their peace and maintain a clear path toward their goals. This selective approach also allows them to foster deeper, more meaningful connections with those who truly resonate with their spirit. They know that the right relationships will naturally enhance their lives, and they're willing to wait for those who truly deserve a front row seat. Number 8, alone time, equal creative time. For the Sigma female, solitude isn't just a preference, it's a necessary condition for creativity. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, distractions abound. Whether it's the noise of social obligations, the expectations of others, or the constant buzz of digital communication, these interruptions can stifle her thought process. Alone time provides a sanctuary where she can truly explore her thoughts and ideas without external pressures or influences weighing her down. When she's alone, her mind can drift into uncharted territories. This freedom to wander mentally allows her to connect dots that might seem unrelated at first glance. Many of her most brilliant ideas emerge during these quiet moments. In solitude, she can experiment with concepts and solutions, allowing her imagination to flourish without boundaries. The lack of outside opinions means she can explore her thoughts in depth, unafraid of judgment or criticism. Moreover, solitude provides the ideal backdrop for self-reflection, a crucial component of the creative process. It allows Sigma females to process their experiences, feelings, and insights, which often serve as fuel for their creative endeavors. They can take stock of what resonates with them and what doesn't, distilling their thoughts into clear ideas. This self-reflection isn't just about personal growth. It's about crafting a narrative that speaks to others, whether through art, writing, or any other form of expression. While collaboration can be beneficial, Sigma females recognize that it isn't always necessary for innovation. In fact, they often find that their best work emerges when they take a step back and trust their instincts. This solitary creative time allows them to dig deep into their passions and craft something truly authentic, reflecting their unique voice and perspective. The tranquility of being alone can also spark unexpected bursts of inspiration. In these moments of peace, when the mind isn't bombarded by outside chatter, the Sigma female often finds clarity and insight that might otherwise remain buried. It's in this personal oasis that she can tap into her deepest wells of creativity, producing work that is not only original but also deeply resonant. For her, alone time isn't just beneficial, it's essential to her creative identity. Number 9. They don't have time for surface-level connections. Sigma females have no interest in shallow connections. It's not that they're unfriendly or standoffish. They just don't see the point in wasting their time on surface-level interactions. Small talk, gossip, or the usual chit-chat that fills up most conversations drains them. They find no value in it because, for them, conversations are meant to be meaningful. If there's no depth, no substance, they'd rather be alone with their thoughts. That might come off as aloof to some, but to a Sigma female, it's about conserving her energy for the things that truly matter. She thrives in deep, thought-provoking discussions, the kind that make you question everything you thought you knew. Her mind craves stimulation, and she's drawn to people who can challenge her perspectives or offer new insights. But the truth is, most people don't operate on that level. They're comfortable with the mundane, with conversations that skim the surface of life without ever diving into its depths. That's where the disconnect happens. Sigma females don't fake interest. If it's not real or meaningful, they're not going to engage. It's not worth their time or energy. This is why they often find themselves walking alone. It's not about loneliness. It's about clarity. They would rather enjoy the solitude of their own company than pretend to care about interactions that feel empty. The irony is, they might be surrounded by people but still feel completely isolated in a room full of shallow conversations. To a Sigma female, being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means preserving her peace, protecting her mental space, and waiting for those rare connections that truly resonate on a deeper level. And if those connections never come, she's perfectly fine walking her path alone. Number 10. Silence is their strategy. Sigma females understand the power of silence in a world that's constantly shouting for attention. While others feel the need to broadcast every thought, plan, or move, Sigma females prefer to work quietly behind the scenes. They know that by keeping their ambitions and strategies close to their chest, they gain an advantage. After all, no one can sabotage what they don't see coming. Walking alone gives them the space to craft their future in peace, free from the noise and interference of others' opinions or expectations. They aren't seeking validation, nor are they interested in impressing anyone along the way. This quiet focus allows them to develop their goals with precision, without the pressure of outside eyes watching every step. It's a subtle form of power, being underestimated by those who assume silence equals inaction. Sigma females thrive on this miscalculation. While others are busy over-explaining their next big thing, she's already halfway through executing hers. This ability to stay low-key, to let people think they know less than they do, gives them room to surprise. And when they finally reveal what they've been working on, it often speaks for itself, leaving people stunned. Silence isn't just a strategy for them. It's a form of protection. It shields their ideas and dreams from being diluted by premature exposure. They know the value of timing, and they reveal their moves only when they're fully ready. By walking this solitary, silent path, Sigma females maintain control over their own narrative, unveiling their success on their own terms and at their own pace. This calculated quietness isn't about secrecy. It's about sovereignty over their own life story. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unique traits of Sigma females, be sure to subscribe. Join our community for more intriguing insights and creative content that celebrates individuality. Your support fuels our passion, so don't miss out on future videos. Let's explore the complexities of life together. Thanks for watching, Jules. See you in the next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.